Somebody pull the wagon, please. My bad, yeah, my bad. I see this going. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's go. We have to have a definite moment to get in the street.
Come on, y'all, let's go. We are not taking oncoming traffic, so just make sure you stay in the lane, please.
So I'm going to explain it one more time real quick. We're actually here for justice for Tyree Nichols.
Tyree Nichols!
Ignore that pinned comment. It's from a friend from 6 months ago. We just got the our page back, and we can't figure out how to get rid of it. It's probably something I got to do from desktop as opposed to my mobile phone here, but you can ignore the pinned comment. We're here for justice for Tyree.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Give me a B.
I got your B, I got your B.
Give me a L.
L, I got your L, I got your L.
Give me a M.
M, I got your M, I got your M.
What's that stand?
Black Lives Matter!
What's that stand?
Black Lives Matter!
What's that stand?
Black Lives Matter! What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Fuck 12!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12.
No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! Oh shit, I need my headband. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Probably about 50 people with us. No blocking cars, unfortunately, but we are sticking to one lane of traffic for safety concerns. This is one of 3 actions and or events scheduled for today. There's this march. 4:30, there's a vigil at 6th and Jefferson in Justice Square. 7:30, there's a press conference at Injustice Square, 6th and Jeff, and then March 7:30, organized by Firm. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to make it to either of those due to prior engagements, but we are here right now in support of justice for Tyree after the release of the astounding footage. I saw one LMPD SUV drive by earlier, just one. So there's not an LMPD present. There is a number of community ambassadors, however, that are keeping an eye on us. Community ambassadors are supposed to be here to kind of be the in-between for incidents in the Highlands and the authorities. They're not necessarily supposed to call LMPD immediately, but keep an eye on situations and then call if necessary. So yeah, they're all right.
No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police!
Been hearing reports from in the ranks of the authorities from LMPD essentially that the new interim police chief isn't gonna deal with any funny business, any shenanigans or whatnot. You know, luckily these marches that are usually led by Amber are always peaceful. She actually specifically requests that if LMPD shows up, the protesters do not engage with them because LMPD will only escalate the situation. So if LMPD does show up, again, we've been instructed not to even engage with them. said in the live stream earlier, there's already been national protests over the footage's release. Atlanta, New York, LA, Memphis, of course. Everything I've seen has been mostly peaceful in all cities. There's been a few incidences here and there that have happened, but mostly peaceful. Memphis actually shut down an interstate. And when they shut down the interstate, from what I saw, the police department didn't even respond, allowing them to practice their First Amendment rights. Which, in my opinion, is the appropriate approach here. Over the years, you know, going on 3 years marching in the name of Breonna Taylor, and now we've got Tyree Nichols. Historically, LMPD only escalates situations, so if they were to show up, that would be potential. Probably less so with this march in particular.
March today, I want y'all to remember all the people we've lost while we've marched.
But yeah,
all the organizers, all of our protest brothers and sisters, everyone that we've lost while we've marched out here. We march for them. We march for them as much as anybody else. We march for them. Remember that. Black lives matter. 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 Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
yeah, reports from LMPD is that they're not going to stand for any funny business, yada, 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 yada. But it is this journalist's personal opinion that LMPD reacting anyway will only cause quote-unquote shenanigans. If you were with me on night 2, you know that LMPD just corralled chaos and watched as block by block was, kind of ransacked. So they showed up, tear gassed a peaceful crowd, spread them, and then corralled them, creating even more danger. And that's historically the approach of the police, is crowd control devices as opposed to allowing reasonable expression of the First Amendment. LMPD put out a statement about how appalled they were of the footage, essentially. So, a lot of people in the comments were saying, pot kettle black.
Yo, y'all, this is what small but mighty look like right here. It's what small but mighty look like. Let me know if you need help walking back.
Memphis BLM put out a press statement basically calling for, eradication of police and jails. I got that up. Give me 1 second and I'll pop it up here on the screen for you. But local Louisville BLM also reposted this statement, so I too feel comfortable reposting. I'm gonna pop it up here a little bit so y'all can see just a second of it. But I do have it reposted on Facebook and Instagram, so I'm gonna say, if you want to read this in its entirety, go ahead and check that out.
Anybody want to take a turn with the sign real quick? The big sign?
We are here in support of Justice for Tyre Nichols.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Probably about 50 of us out here in the streets today. Again, there's a couple more actions that are planned. One's going to be a candlelight vigil, the square, 4:30. Another is a press conference at 7, March at 7:30, hosted by Firm. I will not be able to be there, but we will see if we can get some footage to reshare for you.
You can't stop the revolution!
impressed with the number of mainstream media that's out here, if I'm going to be totally honest. You know, having taken every step with the protests in 2020, 2021, literally out there following marches, there wasn't a lot of mainstream that was there. Chad Mills followed every march. He has now been promoted to another market. So it's good to see that mainstream media is now taking, you know, marches, things like that more seriously. Actually coming out and following, as opposed to just showing up, getting a money shot, and leaving, and then having someone write a story about something they didn't even witness. Because that was kind of an approach that was used by a lot of mainstream media at the beginning. Was just get your money shot, write a story. But it's hard to condense, you know, full situations into small stories like that. So the only way to truly get the truth is to follow along, capture every moment. We are here in Louisville, Kentucky. If you could, react, comment, share.
Tyree Nichols! Say his name! Tyree Nichols! Say his name! Tyree Nichols! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! David McAtee! David McAtee!
Okay, so welcome all to Right Heart Media. I appreciate you showing up, taking an interest in what we're covering. But I will go ahead and get this out of the way up front now that I see one of those latest comments. We are anti-cop here. We are anti-racism. We're anti-sexism. We go and capture historical moments of individuals and demographics being stepped on and not be given the proper voice. We believe in back the boop, not back the blue. Don't find out what back the boop means, because then you won't be allowed to watch anymore. Also, we believe that Black Lives Matter. All Lives Matter was only designed to deter from Black Lives Matter because there was a reason to stand up and state that Black Lives Matter, because historically the system has shown that they don't as much as other races. So all lives matter, not allowed. Not allowed here. This is independent media. I don't have FCC regulations. I can show and say what I want. The only opinion that matters on this live stream, unfortunately, is going to be mine. And I am going to relay to you what is happening with my eyes. So if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you are racist and you got a problem with what you're seeing or with my commentary, you can politely and gently go fuck yourself. All right, that's it. Thank you.
You can't stop the revolution! You can't stop the revolution! You can't stop the revolution! LMPD is not the solution! LMPD!
Yes, more white folks are killed than black folks because there are statistically more white folks in the United States. So, you know, just by probability, that's going to happen. That's like saying, I brought 2 pepperoni pizzas and a sausage pizza to the party. All the pizza got ate, but more pepperoni pizza got eaten than sausage. Okay, that doesn't matter because there was twice the number of pepperoni. So that's a nice try, but you can take that energy on somewhere else. It's a pretty dreary day today. misting, kind of spitting on us a little bit. It's around 50 degrees, so it's not that warm. Not that cold, not that warm, but the moisture and the wind definitely brings that temperature down.
There ain't no justice in this town.
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 Mama, Papa, don't you cry.
Mama, mama, don't you cry.
It's not my day to die.
Today is 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 not my day to die.
Still fuck 12.
That's gonna make me say 9, 10, 11, fuck 12.
That's it. No more. Y'all can do that from a distance. If they actually interact with us completely.
You're showing your true colors there, Jeremy Pohl. You're showing your ignorance as well. So I suggest you shut your fucking mouth while you're still allowed to watch.
Get him right.
Done. Final warning, Jeremy. If you'd like to keep watching, go ahead. But quiet down. If you don't want to keep watching, keep speaking up. And then we'll just make sure you're not allowed to view anymore. And then we'll be done with that. Because I do this free of charge. I do this for the community. And additionally, added stress from dickheads like you is not welcome. So we're here for Tyre Nichols.
No peace.
We're not here to throw around tainted statistics. Did you know that 73% of statistics are made up on the spot? Sorry, I think it's actually 23%.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12!
Anybody's got some shit to say, you can wait until mainstream media puts their pieces out later, because they don't have their shit out yet. I'm live watching it, raw, real. They're gonna put together their stories with their footage later, so you can go and you can hop on there and comment if you want, but I don't give a fuck. Blue lives matter, blue lives murder. Ah, okay, you almost got me there.
It's still fuck 12. Metro Energy.
ACAP!
What that mean?
That means fuck 12 till I die.
Metro Energy.
ACAP!
What that mean?
That means fuck 12 till I die.
Well, Jeremy Pohl is absolutely welcome here, as long as he doesn't have anything fucking ignorant to say. He can be here as long as he wants.
No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police!
Captain K, we're looking for cops to not murder people anymore. That's what we're looking for. That's a pretty simple answer, I feel like.
Tyree Nichols! Say his name! Tyree Nichols! Say his name! Tyree Nichols! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Keep going! 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 Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Murder's illegal, oh my god. That is such eye-opening insight. Thank you for that, Captain K. So, I think the issue there inherent issue there is the fact that the people that are supposed to be upholding law are breaking it and ending people's lives. So marches like these happen to call for additional actions to keep cops from murdering people. Like this just happened, like Breonna Taylor, like George Floyd happened.
Out of the car, into the streets!
Out of the cars, 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 into the streets!
Out of the house!
Into the streets!
Out of the house!
Into the streets!
You gotta stop confusing people. We ain't done this shit in a while either. At least he's going. Shit, you guys might confuse. They about to do what you want to It be that way. I know.
Not a single false narrative here, Jeremy.
You about to get
But you continue to show your ignorance and that you don't understand how the world works. Further, how statistics work.
I got your B, I got your B. Give me an L. L, I got your
So,
L, I got your L. Give me an M.
literal first, last warning.
What's that spell? Black Lives Matter. What's that spell? Black Lives Matter.
Give me a B.
B, I got your B, I got your B.
Give me an L.
L, I got your L, I got your L.
Give me an M.
M, I got your M, I got your M.
What's that spell?
Black Lives Matter.
What's that spell?
Black Lives Matter.
What's that spell?
Black Lives Matter.
So we're gonna go in the main team all y'all.
Motherfucking freeway.
Freeway. Hit the motherfucking freeway. Freeway. Hit the motherfucking freeway.
Figure it out.
No lives matter till Black Lives Matter.
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 Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
Welcome everyone to Riot Heart.
Hey, pause.
In case you've
Pause,
never
just pause for a
watched.
second.
We lost access to our Facebook page for about 6 months. We just got it back like
Just take a breather.
a little over a week ago.
Like everyone here, like be alive.
We are here in Louisville, Kentucky live in support of justice for Tyree Nichols and his family. Brutally beaten to death by Memphis police. Much appreciated. Okay, so we've got a couple block cars that have shown up. So now we've got individuals that will be running the tail to make sure that any traffic following behind doesn't have any type of urges, to hit pedestrians, because that has happened a number of times throughout protests around the nation. We've got the snack cart right in front of you, water, Gatorade. We've got to keep people's energy up so that they can march effectively. Don't want anybody dropping out. There's a couple of medics here that are following in case anybody has any type of issues. And we're taking a little break on the parking lot out of the traffic so that we can get our strength back, make it back to the staging area where we met. Those are all pretty standard protest march tactics. There's going to be a vigil at 4:30 at the square, 6 and Jeff.
Block traffic. Make sure nobody runs us down or hurt us. Fuck 12 said that. His name is Fuck 12.
Excuse me, officer. Fuck up.
Excuse me, sir. Fuck 12.
All right, so turns out there's an LMPD officer.
I don't want you here, but if you gotta be here, you gotta do your job. So honestly, I don't want you. I don't like that.
There's an
But if you gotta be
LMPD
here, you gotta
officer
be here.
that's
I don't know why I don't know.
probably the same one that passed by while we were staging. He says that he's going to remain with us, help block traffic, make sure that we're safe. Organizers have expressed they don't care to have him here just because statistically, in Louisville, if LMPD shows up with protesters, things go south. LMPD is not usually take protesters very kindly, and the further east you get in the city, the worse it gets. So organizers prefer he not be here, and we provide our own safety and security as we did while LMPD was also trying to run us down.
Not really good 36, we're gonna make the most out of any situation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around, make sure our cars get behind us.
Cynthia, I wish that there was an easy answer to your question about where to follow marches and vigils. Unfortunately, the three that are happening today were all organized by different individuals, so unless you follow their personal social medias, Amber Brown, for one, she's one of the leaders of Chalk It Up here in Louisville. And then a couple others planned it as well, Firm Initiative. So really there's not an easy answer. There's not like a central place where you can find this information. There's some groups like the Breeway Connection that you might be able to get some details. A couple different protest groups on Facebook, but yeah, unfortunately there's not one single concise location. So you can kind of, I post as much as I can, but I also have to make sure that I post things so that it's clear that I am not organizing, that I am just, advertising for, community and news purposes. So yeah, I share as much as I can, so you could follow me. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the best I got for you.
He's catching up. Look at him.
Look at those little legs. Oh, look at that. Literal legs of you. Oh my God.
Protest pup.
Tyree Nichols.
Protest pup.
Tyree Nichols. Tyre Nichols! Tyre Nichols!
Black Lives Matter!
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 Danny, I might be the only person live at the moment, honestly.
No justice!
The other things happening this afternoon, since I can't be there, I'll try to find some footage to share, but I don't know who's going to be live yet. I know Tara's going to be live for at least the 7 o'clock press conference, but I don't think she's
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
Are y'all sure? Is that what we want?
Justice!
Are y'all 100% positive?
150%!
Let's try this again, y'all. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
Started at about 50, maybe pushing 75 now, and got a couple tail cars that have joined us.
Shut it down!
You want reparations too?
Jeremy, we are also anti-racist, we are also anti-fascist, we are also anti-violent. I might personally be a little bit of a Marxist, but I wouldn't say that everybody here is. So I guess you're within a circle. Anti-racism, anti-fascism.
Keep going!
I understand why you would think that people marching in response to law enforcement officers murdering people, I don't know how you can equate that to fascism. The cops, being able to have the authority to murder and get away with it is actually fascism. So we're countering fascism by marching, trying to take that power and authority away from individuals that don't actually care about our well-being. Jeremy, you clearly don't know your history just as much as you don't know how statistics work. Keep showing your ignorance, though. Have fun with it, actually.
Tyree Nichols! Say his name! Tyree Nichols! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Hey, time me out. Hey, me. Right here, man. Right here. I know. Hey, where you been? Come on.
I'm gonna catch up here in a moment. I'm just trying to get access to something real quick. Oh, sorry y'all, soaking up some Wi-Fi. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so Jeremy Pohl gets to be the first person in the new era of Riot Heart, since we've gotten our account back, to be booped. So back the boop. We do not back the blue here, we back the boop. If you're unfamiliar with what the term boop means, just don't find out, because then you won't be allowed to see or commentate any further. Jeremy is delusional. He's clearly gone down some type of QAnon hole. I'm sure he believes in hollow earth and or flat earth, probably simultaneously, as well as lizard people that are running the government. If I had to guess. I don't know. Jeremy's speaking a whole lot of fascism. He's the one that brings it up, but he's also the one that is acting. We've been lucky the rain's held off, but unfortunately terrible weather, and it being a Sunday, fortunately and unfortunately there's been less traffic. Fortunately because safer with less traffic, unfortunately because less people are going to see the movement that is happening.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Protect black men! 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 Protect black
There's going to be at least 3 today. There's this march. There's a 4:30 vigil at 6th and Jeff. And then there's a press conference in March at 7.
This better show you wrong.
What she said?
ACAB every day.
Every day.
All day. All day.
ACAB!
That's my energy.
Match my energy!
ACAB. What that means? That means fuck up till I DIE. That's my energy. ACAB. What that means? That means fuck up till I DIE. No justice. No peace. Fuck these racist ass police. No justice. No peace. Fuck these racist ass police. No justice. No peace. Fuck these racist ass police.
Okay, pausing for a moment. Just pausing for a moment again. Get a little rest, relaxation, before we keep moving.
Yeah, we got some stuff planned today. I was out last night. Alright. We're green. But you know what? It doesn't always have to be that. We're still doing exactly what Whose streets?
Our street!
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 No justice!
No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! Fuck!
Said no justice!
No peace! Fuck these racist ass police!
Say his name!
Tyree Nichols!
Say his name!
Tyree Nichols!
Say his name!
Tyree Nichols!
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
What? Say his name!
Tyree Nichols!
Say his name!
Tyree Nichols!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Fuck 12! Fuck!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Fuck 12! Fuck!
I love you. Bro, I love your fuck up at the end.
I'm tired of the police brutality. It don't matter what color they are.
You can't stop the revolution.
You can't stop the revolution!
Police is the reason why we gotta keep coming out here. No matter if they black or white or none of that. That's why we keep coming out here. Fuck the police.
Fuck!
You see the mainstream across the street again. Yeah, I'm impressed with the number of mainstream that are out. Definitely didn't see that in the early days of Breonna Taylor protest. Pretty much nobody followed the marches, which is why the live streamers became necessary, so that we could get full unedited footage of events to combat the false narratives that LMPD was putting out and then giving to mainstream media who were regurgitating it. And then our footage would come out, and then they would both have to go back on their stories and their official statements. So now mainstream appears to have started to hire mobile journalists, essentially live streamers for things like this. I've actually applied for a couple of the positions and can't get a call back. You know, I'm kind of one of the people that pioneered it in Louisville. Yeah, it is what it is. So we just keep with the independent media, keep on moving, keep on covering. We keep on marching for and with the people.
Together we stand.
Jeremy, you continue to miss the point.
Together we stand.
Doesn't matter to a lot of people if those cops were black, they're cops and they murdered somebody. So you You can keep trying with your whataboutisms, but none of us give a fuck.
You can't stop the revolution.
My bad.
No justice.
What about this? What about that? That's not what we're talking about.
No peace.
When we're talking about it, I'll let you know.
Racist ass police. These racist ass police. Yep, Tyre, there she is.
Racist ass
Said I didn't have to be on it.
Fuck these racist ass police. Fuck these racist ass police.
Delusions.
1 second good enough.
Never.
You ain't let it chance. Now's the chance. Get it poppin'. Don't be scared.
Jamie, there's a lot of people that believe that whenever a cop puts on that uniform, they're not a person anymore. Because they choose to be an extension of a system that is failing. I will respect a cop outside of uniform. I am friends with a couple of different law enforcement officers throughout my life. But when they have that uniform on, they're not my friend, and they understand that. So, again, your whataboutisms don't fucking matter here, my dude.
Travis Nasty. Chris Smith. Chris Smith. Chris Wells.
Pausing for red lights, we have been, just for safety.
Now we can go. That's why he was confused. He didn't hear that. That was on him. Yeah, we'll say he
Long live Scooter. Long live Scooter.
Long live Scooter.
Long live Ninja. Long live Ninja.
Long live Ninja.
Long live Ninja.
Long live Ninja.
I'm saying that the current law enforcement system needs to be dismantled and rebuilt from the ground up because it's not working clearly. You even said yourself that more white people get killed by cops than black people. That's still more people getting killed than need to be by cops. Cops aren't here to kill people. Cops are not judge, jury, and executioner. Cops are supposed to be here to enforce laws that they're not even appropriately trained on. Why do you think lawyers and attorneys go to school for years to learn the law and even still have to continuously research it to be able to practice? Law enforcement doesn't do that. They barely learn traffic laws, and then after that are not retrained on them. They're trained zero on de-escalation. That was confirmed by a captain within LMPD. Sorry, zero is a little bit of an overestimate because they're given 1 hour of de-escalation training for their 8 hours of graduation training. That is factual. That is from a captain at LMPD. 1 hour for de-escalation, 8 hours for graduation. So, long story short, effectively, yes. When a cop puts his uniform on, it's not a person. He's an extension of the system. He is the long arm of the law. I've stood across riot lines from law enforcement officers that I've known. And they knew we weren't friends at that moment. Fine, understand. of the resources that law enforcement officers have. It's unnecessary. There's no reason to have tear gas in their arsenal. Reform's not possible. Reform is not possible. We can't reform. It has to be dismantled. It has to be built from the ground up. The entire antithesis, the entire purpose of law enforcement from the beginning was to protect property, not to protect individuals. And, you know, some law enforcement has roots in slave catching. You can't reform that. The damage is done. The trauma is there. It'll never go away. It has to be dismantled and rebuilt into something that can work in modern society. Obviously, jails aren't working. Privatized prisons aren't working because they're dehumanizing people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Number of people dying within corrections, within jails, is skyrocketing over the last years. Continues to climb here in Louisville. But we're supposed to trust these people, right? No. Dismantle. Rebuild.
Energy. ACAB. What's that mean?
That means fuck till I die.
Match my energy. ACAB. What's that mean?
That means fuck till I die.
Match my energy. ACAB. What's that mean?
That means fuck till I die.
Period.
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 Fuck 12.
Fuck
Fuck
12.
You good? I love that.
Fuck 'em. Fuck these racist ass police. No justice.
No peace.
Fuck these racist ass police. No peace. Fuck these racist
Yeah,
ass
we've definitely had
police.
people slowly trickling in as we march. That tends to be kind of what happens in Louisville. Something referred to as protest time. A lot of the OG protesters definitely run on protest time, so that's a good 20-30 minutes late. That was just kind of the standard for the 2020 protest.
Say his name.
Tyree Nichols.
Say his name.
Tyree Nichols.
Yeah, that's another thing, military. I personally don't see an issue with military being law enforcement, but military would need psych evals. I mean, honestly, law enforcement needs deeper psych evals before they can get hired, period, in general. There needs to be a better psychological background check. If someone has served actively in the military, I believe that those background, those mental checks should be even more extensive because combat situations are not what law enforcement are used to handling, and sending someone that has experience in combat situations into those situations might escalate it into a combat situation when it should have just been, you know, like a wellness check. So, I'm not opposed because our military need jobs when they get back, and a lot of times there's not the right kind of safeguards here, housing, you know, treatment for PTSD and whatnot. So they do need jobs, so it would make sense to step into, you know, a law enforcement role, but no.
Mike, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out, your energy, your voices, your bodies.
I've never heard a chant, no police, no prisons, total abolition. Never heard that chant, Jeremy. Welcome to Louisville, though.
Those time periods, and things and accountability has to be taken for a lot of those relationships to build back up. You're all in a lot of toxic spaces for a really long time with no accountability. With that comes fractured relationships, including amongst the leaders. So, get ready, be kind. If you are wanting to be in the streets, make sure you are educated about what your rights are. If you interact with police, do you know that the only time you have to give them your ID is when you're driving a vehicle? Did you know this? I didn't know this until a couple weeks ago. Things like that need to be known so that when you come out here, you know what the fuck you're doing. Because I'm not going to be your stepper. Let you know. I'm not that one. So, I plan to do more actions. I really need support in moving forward to continue to be an organizer because, to be quite honest, this was not a hat I ever wanted to put back on. I'm willing to do it. I love doing it. It's amazing. But I need support while I transition back into it. I love you all.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we made it back to our staging area. We made it safely. I only saw one LMPD officer the whole time. Saw a bunch of community ambassadors that kind of followed along. Totally peaceful march and protest in support of justice for Tyree Nichols, brutally murdered by 5 Memphis police officers. So yeah, we're marching in support of justice for his family. Long march for Breonna Taylor. Finally saw some justice. Took the DOJ stepping in and filing charges because local authorities couldn't or wouldn't. But so a lot of the officers that were involved in the raid on Breonna Taylor have seen charges. They have not been charged, or they haven't been convicted, but they are seeing charges at least. So we're following that as well. But yeah, it's been a long march for Breonna Taylor, and hopefully it's not going to be as long a march for Tyree. Hopefully these guys can get. Thanks, John. But hopefully swift justice is seen in this instance. The footage is absolutely disgusting. Don't recommend watching it if you got soft stomach. The only reason I watched it was because I knew I was going to have to get it out the platform. Yeah, wrapping up totally peaceful protest here in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the live. But 4:30 at the square, there's a candlelight vigil. 7 at the square, there is another press conference in March. I'm not gonna be able to make it to either one of those. I think Tara might be able to make it to some of those, so check out Tara Bassett, 502 live streamers for more details. We're gonna continue to maintain coverage here from Louisville, Kentucky. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Stay strong, stay safe.